Oh, hey. Hey, kids. Harvey here. I'm back in the RV. Finally going to get some more stuff done. It's been a little while since I've been in here, and been a little while since I made a video. That's for damn sure. A few things I'm going to be getting done over the next couple days. Number one, today I'll be installing some of these. What these are locks. And I've got 4 of them I'll be installing on some of the exterior storage compartments. These particular locks I got on eBay, I believe it was. Yeah, it was eBay. They're not that expensive. I'm going to be showing how to replace locks, how to drill out locks I don't have keys for, and that's the main reason I'm replacing the locks. And the next few days I'm also going to be installing the tail lights on the RV here, and that's going to be kind of a job. I'm also going to be installing new roof vent seals for the roof vent that I replaced in the last video. And I'm going to be putting another roof vent in too, but I don't really see any reason to actually video that. I've already videoed one, and if you've seen one, you've seen the other. Of course, if I show you this one, then you would maybe be able to forget about the last one, right? You know, probably not. Anyway, I guess I'm going to be getting on with it here pretty quick, and that's about it. It's probably going to be okay. I'm pretty sure. Sort of. Yeah. Okay, so here I am. We're outside here to start replacing these locks. The first lock that I'm going to replace is this one that goes over the fuel door. It covers the fuel cap, and you'll notice that this lock is missing the actual lock part. All it's left is the cylinder body there. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a 7/8 wrench and take this larger nut off. And this entire job is going to require a 7/8 wrench and a flat blade screwdriver. So let me get started with that. And oh, by the way, this is what the new cylinder locks look like. You know, flat on 2 sides, and this is what it'll be. So let me get started taking this nut off. It shouldn't take very long at all. I would normally use a deep socket for this, 7/8 deep socket, but I discovered that all my standard size deep sockets, none of them are in the camper right now, so I'll just use a wrench. It's fine. I don't really need a socket for this anyway. I don't know if y'all can see that through my hand. I got the nut off. Now if you take a look at this thing, I'm not even sure what they call it. It's like a locking ring. It's got little tabs on it right here, and if you take a look, it's the same shape as a lock cylinder. And what that does is those tabs kind of hold on to these little pieces here and into the plastic, and it keeps that lock cylinder from turning. Okay, it's just kind of a backup to keep it from turning, because the hole in the door, which is made of plastic, is also the shape of the lock cylinder. So now this lock cylinder feels like it might be stuck in there a little bit. So what I'm going to do is maybe tap it out a little bit and try not to break my door doing it. So kind of tap on it, and there it goes. It came right out of there. You notice that I used a wrench as a hammer. Normally I like to think the right tool for the right job. You know, normally I'll use my pliers as a hammer rather than using my wrench as a hammer. So, you know, there you have it, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the lock cylinder into the hole, and I like to do it to where the key will be pointing down. It's just something I like to do. This has a little tab right here that we can adjust the direction which the lock actually turns once it's in. So when we put this in there, and it's pretty simple. We just put it through the hole, and we take our little locking ring, we put it on there, and we take our nut. Look at that, we're putting a new nut on there, because the new nut came with the you know, with the new lock. So, you know, hey, you know, you got a new nut, use it. Nothing like new nuts. Anyway, you kind of tighten that down. Now, you don't have to be King Kong with this thing, you know. We're not talking about, you know, torquing down to 650 foot-pounds here. We're just trying to tighten the lock cylinder. Now, if we were to take a look at this, and I'm going to pick up the camera real quick, even though it's on a tripod. If we take a look at the way the slot is made in this door. You see that slot right there? We're going to have a lock tang that goes up into that slot. And so what we're going to want to do, we're going to want to set the direction of our lock to where it turns down to lock, which, like when I say down, I mean with the key, we'd be looking at clockwise to lock, okay? And right now that would be lock position, and then counterclockwise to unlock, because I want that tab to go up into the wider part of that slot that we were looking at. So right now it's actually set the way I want it set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the screw out. I just stuck it in here to keep from losing it. This is a screw that will hold the lock tang in, and because this was all, you know, this lock was all apart and there was no guts to it or anything, I'm not really sure which way I need to put that tang. So this is the lock tang I'm talking about here. Now, these locks came with two different styles of tangs, all right? And one is a straight tang like this. The other one's a bent tang like this. Now, other doors on this motorhome actually use the bent tang, so that's what I'm going to try. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to have it to where the bent part is in towards the door, okay, because it kind of looks to me like that's the way this is going to go. And I'll go ahead and screw it on there, and if I'm wrong, I'll just take it back off and you know, I'll put it on there correctly. Sometimes I have to take pliers or whatnot and bend these things. I used to work in the casino industry. I worked on slot machines, and I have literally changed hundreds upon hundreds of these types of locks in my life. And this one, oh, look at that. Oh, I got the tang wrong. I'm going to have to, I put the tang on there backwards. So much for, you know, changing hundreds and hundreds of these locks, huh? Yeah. I didn't say I did it right. I just said I did it. So let me take that off. Okay. So this time, I will make a genuine attempt at not being an idiot, and I will put that tang this way, see? And I want it to lock that way, so that's going to be unlocked right there, so that'll be up. And see, I was talking to y'all when I was putting this tang on here, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, so you know, it's your fault, you know, obviously. That's what I say. I'm sticking to that. Now, these particular locks, I would really like to put some blue Loctite on these. Blue's the non-permanent Loctite, but I would like to put some blue Loctite on these. I just don't have any out here with me, and I may come back later and take the screws off and put some Loctite on there. Look at that. I had the tang right. Now I have a fuel door that locks, and a fuel door that unlocks. And then other times I have a fuel door that locks and then unlocks, locks, unlocks, locks, unlocks. Okay, that'll be enough. Now, what I can do, if I had the right size wrench, which I do not, to do this, I would normally take a wrench and hold on to the flat sides of the body of the lock while I tighten the tang down, okay? But I really don't see any reason to do that at the moment, especially being as I will probably be coming back out and putting Loctite on these. Okay? Now, that is in a nutshell how you change a lock. It's pretty simple. Main things to pay attention to here is the way your lock's going to turn and how the tang will bend in or bend out, because like this particular tang is just straight. If the slot was in a position where it would take a straight tang, I would have used this. Or if the slot was further back, I would have flipped my tang over to where the tang was further back into the cavity here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to end up in just a moment having to drill out another lock, and this time I'll be, you know, videoing how to drill out a lock and change the whole lock, because I don't have a key to the lock that I have to drill out. So, you know, have to drill out. A word about these keys. I don't know if you all can see that in the camera. It says CH751. The CH751 key is probably the most common key of this type. I used to work on generators. They were used on generators, I have another camper, and all my doors on my other camper, which is actually made by Forest River, every one of those keys are 751 keys. So be aware that if you order locks and you want to change them, you're most likely going to run into the locks that take a 751 key, and just be aware that there's going to be other people that have, you know, that lock out there, and I mean a lot of other people. So that pretty much does it. Bye. Okay, here I am, back out here. I went in and I got my favorite cheap drill. Anybody who's been watching, you know I have my favorite cheap drill. And I've got a 3/8 drill bit. The size of your drill bit is not all that important. You don't want it to be really small. It doesn't have to be really big. The 3/8, I have maybe one or two drill sizes just slightly bigger than this that I could actually stick in the chuck here. What I need to do is just drill right in the center of this thing and finally get it to spin. I've done this hundreds of times. Normally when I drill a hole in like metal, I'll try to use a cutting oil of some sort. I'm not going to worry about it right now because I'm really not going to heat this up too much. My main goal is to get this lock open and get it off and replace it. So. Hopefully this old plastic door won't break. If it does, then we got a problem. There we go. And the lock actually spun. And this lock is a little bit different than the lock I'm putting on here. So we're just going to have to see how this is going to work out, because I don't know, this may not be all that promising. What this is the fresh water fill for the water tank. So this particular lock has this little keeper on it. What you have to do is you have to push that little keeper up and get the lock out. Now this tab doesn't screw on like the tab on the other one, so I'm gonna have to work out a way to get that tab off the lock. I think if I pull this keeper off here, I've pulled these off before, but I don't think I've ever seen one where it was just molded on like this. So what I'm gonna have to do is just pull that off and try to fish the lock out of there. If I can't fish the lock out of there, then what I'm gonna have to do is maybe go in and get my Dremel tool and grind this area down until I can get the tab off. So you go ahead and the tang off. Tang tab, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. So I kind of pull that off there if I can. And I didn't bring a big enough flat blade screwdriver. I was not expecting this. One thing, this motorhome has more than one variety of lock on it, as you can see by looking at this. No, come on. If I can get this off of here. There we go. It got it off. See, yay! All right. Y'all don't seem as excited about that as I am. If you don't care, then leave whatever comment you want. Or leave a comment. I don't care. I'd really like if you did leave a comment, though. Because when people leave comments, it makes me look cool. And I like to look cool. Like really, really cool. So this tang is a lot shorter than the ones I have. So I don't know if my locks are actually going to work here. I may have to modify a tang, in which case I'll have to finish this video after a while when I have a modified tang, you know. Okay, so here I am back in the motorhome. It's warm. Here in South Louisiana, I think the temperature now has finally dropped into the high 80s. And I think we have like 673,000% humidity, something like that. You know? Anyway, as you can see, changing locks in the storage doors on one of these things is kind of a no-brainer. There's not much to it. I mainly wanted to show drilling out the lock, which I did. My next big endeavor is going to be to change the roof vent seals. And I may or may not video that. It's kind of, I don't know, you know, you take the roof, it just slides on the edge of a piece of plastic. You take the old one off, you slide the new one on. I'll take the camera up there and video it. I don't know if I'll post it or not. If I do, it'll probably be something short, and I'll find plenty of stupid stuff to say. After that, I'm going to tackle those taillights because I really want this thing legal on the road. I mean, I can drive it right now. It'll crank, it starts, it runs, it's great. I just need to kind of take care of that. Anyway, that'll be the end of this video, and yeah, it'll probably be okay, I guess. Bye.